Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 17th episode of the Uncreative podcast. Today I'm joined with my co-host, my buddy, my main man, Kidney Bandit.
Let's go.
And today we got 4 special guests. We got my main man, Melmec FX, chilling over there, muted, but he's not talking. you got my main man, Jack, that I know in real life. You know what I'm saying?
What up?
You got my homie, my dog, my my nigga, Thundercat Studios up in, bruh. Oh my god. And then you got, and then you got Sage and Kami, bro.
What are we talking about? Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dear viewer. Also,
Everybody who listens to this shit, savor it.
yes, sir.
Rare appearance.
Yes.
Yes,
Sage and Kami's coming back. Let's go. So,
Yes,
everybody, today we have obviously everybody that he's just listed, but I will like to say and confirm it for now, as until further notice, the Kings of Ra is not here today, but we've come to compromise where we'll be making more consistent episodes because we have Solo Train Productions and Thundercat 123 Studios as semi to permanent hosts. Yay! Let's go!
Let's take it again.
Yes, sir.
Let's go! Oh, man. So what are we talking about first? Are we gonna say figures again?
You know what? For once, let's switch it up. What's a video game that y'all been like playing recently?
Ooh. That could also go into the hype one
Yes,
because Jack and Thunder were talking about God of War, like the newest one.
Yes, yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I recently have played all of the God of War games. It's one of my favorite game topics. I've always been very interested in the gods and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I think the concept of somebody, especially now since there's the newer games, right, where Kratos and his son are going through the Norse mythology, and
Oh my God,
it blows my mind because he's the
Wait.
Hey, hold
Real
up,
quick.
Hold up, Jack. Hold up, Jack.
Did we just have a surprise guest?
We did. The person that we literally just said wasn't gonna be here for this episode is here. My man, my legend, my nigga, King Zara, also known as Dragon LZ. My nigga, how you doing, bruh? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm sorry if my mic sounds a little weird. How are you guys doing? It's so great to see everybody here. Oh my gosh.
Pretty good.
Yes,
We
sir.
literally
We're
just
doing
started
good.
recording. Like unironically just started.
You made it
Oh,
in the
really?
nick of time, bro. Man,
Wow.
Bro, come here, man. Give me a hug.
Look at that. Hell yeah, man.
Looks like D&D's not getting replaced. I have to rewrite the contract, guys. I'm sorry. But anyways, Jack was talking about God of War before we so rudely interrupted him. If you want to keep going, go ahead, bro.
Basically, what I was gonna say is it's really one of the only representations of somebody I've seen that goes from Greek mythology, like not only Greek mythology, he kills all of the gods there. That's insane. But then he goes to Norse mythology, right? And that's the only person I've seen go to 2 different, it's kind of like combining worlds in a way, if you really think about it, right? Because he just killed all the gods in Greek mythology, and then this is years later, he has a son, right? And now there's different gods, right? There's, Odin, Thor, he kills Magni and Modi, right? In God of War, not Thor.
And Boulder.
Yeah, and Baldur. It's crazy. It's insane to think that he goes from, one completely different topic to another.
Yeah, he's literally just mythology, like speed running right now.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He's just like, all right, well, I just got done clapping the cheeks of all of these motherfuckers. Who's next? He's like, I just had a happy family. This motherfucker ruined it. All right, now I'm back to my roots, and it's really cool to see. I think him getting back the Chaos Blades in God of War 4, right? I think it's symbolic, and for those that haven't played, obviously spoiler alert. And it's just he gets back the Chaos Blades, and I think that's symbolic that he's going back to his roots, and he's going to start killing the gods again, because he killed Magni and Modi, he killed, frickin' Balder, and I think he's going to start going for Thor, all of the different gods, right? And Thunder really brought up a great point earlier that I think I'd like him to elaborate on, right? With the whole point of Ragnarok, right? The giant wolf, right?
Oh
This-
yeah,
it's-
boy,
it's a
yeah,
lot.
sure. Oh man. Oh yeah. Look, I saw that one cinematic trailer that they released for the game showing Fenris. It was like he's super dope. In I'm pretty sure in Norse mythology he's supposed to be a child of Loki, so obviously that's not the same because Kratos, his son Atreus, is Loki, right? But I'm super hyped to see Fenris because, oh my goodness, he's huge like he's supposed to be. He's menacing. Um, they did a great job with the World Serpent. So, oh god, yeah,
Yeah, and it's also really cool that you could also see that they have the I was about to say Greek because I'm stupid. The Egyptian pantheon as well. That's really cool because like you saw it whenever he's like looking at all those relics and stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
Oh yeah,
another-
yeah. That
When I-
like
when-
it was like on the wall and stuff.
Yeah, when I recently played the game, that's another thing I noticed is that's really something you mainly see. I mean, there's a lot of different, like, I guess religions and stuff like that way back in the past that did stuff like that, right, in Greek and Norse mythology, but they never really went to that level, right, with all the paintings on the walls and this, and that. My theory was I think Kratos, I don't think God of War Ragnarok is going to be the end. I think he's going to keep on going to different, areas and stuff like that. Kind of like Assassin's Creed, how they keep on going to different, different scenarios. Like in the most recent one, it's Norse mythology, and then it was Egyptian, and then,
Yeah,
whole bunch.
I don't think that we're gonna be playing as Kratos the whole time though. I think that we're gonna take Atreus as the.
Well, yeah, obviously, because Kratos keeps getting older, right? But at the end of God of War 4, revealed that Atreus is Loki,
Yeah.
right?
Bro, I'm
so
just waiting for-
I don't really know how that's gonna work out. That's a really confusing point, and I'm really excited to see how that pans out. Right, because I have a feeling there might be a point in the newest game where Kratos is like, whoa, you're... I mean, I knew you were a god, but I didn't know, because my theory was he's going to kill all of the Norse gods next, right? And Loki is one of the big figures in Norse mythology, right? He's the mischievous little fucker, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
So, I don't really know. It's a lot to really think about, and I'm super excited coming, frickin' November when that game comes out. I already have it pre-ordered and everything.
Bro, we might need that motherfucker Kratos to come out and stop Chris Chan. That nigga escaped from prison, right? Right, Shaheem? Did he?
Whoa, wait, what? I didn't even know about
think
that.
I saw him running away from the cops on rollerblades like he's fucking Shadow the Hedgehog.
Bro, well, I'm sorry. All I was thinking about, y'all was talking about
fucking
God of
way.
War and shit.
You're
I was
saying
thinking about God of War fucking Scientology edition.
Side.
Welcome.
He starts fucking fighting. He starts fighting Tom Cruise or something.
Yeah,
God
Y'all
of War
talking about-
Scientology edition. He starts fucking creating chemicals in a lab and shit. And he just
Jesus and Kratos become boys. He
They
teaches
just they
Kratos.
just become homies. They just start walking on water together, and fucking eventually Kratos betrays him because Jesus is technically a god.
It'd be well, Kratos didn't betray every god in Ascension. He was actually friends with one of them, but and then he had to kill him. But
I mean, yeah, but that the long running thing with Kratos is every person that he kind of becomes close with dies, right? That's kind of his thing, right? His brother died a long time ago, and that's kind of how he became who he was, and then he got the ashes placed on his body and
his
everything,
brother,
and then
his,
like the long.
wait. Let me fact check you real quick. His brother did not die. That's not his brother's ashes. He killed his wife and daughter. And,
Yeah,
and also
yeah,
his
well,
thing.
yeah,
But
no,
his brother died from
he killed his brother, right? And like
no. He didn't even kill him. His brother died by Thanatos or whatever. The god of death.
It's just he had to fight his brother though.
Dude, he got his ass beat. But I think Kratos was.
Yeah, I know. And then his brother fucking died, right? But it's just crazy because the long running thing with Kratos is every person that gets close with him dies, right? I mean, like even in the newest game, right? His wife died, right? He started a whole ass new family, and his fucking wife died, dude. In the beginning of the game, that's how it starts, bro. Is they're doing the freaking cremation ritual for his wife.
Yeah.
Right, and then from there, that's the whole premise of the game. Is they're trying to spread his wife's ashes on the tallest peak.
This nigga's giving us a walkthrough of the game now, bruh. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that Chris Chan shit. Like, actually, I really do.
Dude, did he really break out of prison?
I think he. I literally seen a video.
I
didn't hear anything about that. I know.
I don't
know
know.
a lot about Chris Chan, but I didn't know that he broke out of prison.
It is
It's crazy. How in the fuck did he manage to break out of prison out of all people?
Because he's
built
different.
out, bro.
Eating down the
legit.
fucking
That
road.
motherfucker manages to get out of everything, bro. I swear.
Oh wait, we can't say.
I never really
girl.
got the
lore.
I mean,
if
the lore of Chris Chan.
If they still
yeah,
go.
like,
So I could
Chris
speed run it. I could speed run it real quick if you need. Chris Chan was a autistic kid who overly shared a lot of stuff on the internet, and then he made like his own comic called like Sonic Chew, where he mixed Sonic and Pikachu. And he kept like writing letters to Nintendo, and he got super mad about it. People started like trolling him and impersonating him and stuff because he's just like an autistic kid who just replies to everything and literally overshares and stuff. His house is like filled to the brim. He's like a hoarder and stuff. And actually, unironically, you would think that the person who would be on his downfall would be like some like unattractive like troll nigga. No, it's like some really attractive woman manipulated Chris Chan into Chris Chan changed their gender. Chris Chan changed
Slow
her
down
gender.
about the
No.
attractive shit, bro.
She was attractive. Wait, from what I've seen, she was attractive.
She was doing some nasty shit, bro.
I know,
Yeah.
but I know. Look, you can't take it away.
There was a lot of allegations.
No. All right, I'm gonna send the picture, and y'all can come up to your own conclusions.
Bro, just because she has
Please
some
do.
big ass titties.
That's what I'm saying.
She's
It's
not.
just
No,
really-
no. Fuck
I mean-
you guys.
I mean,
wait, I want to hear what Shaheem has to say. I want to hear what Shaheem has to say.
No, like, I'm gonna be honest, bro. That Chris Chan shit was a fucking rabbit hole I should have never gotten into so
Yeah,
early
the
in
ending.
my
The
fucking
ending is
life,
probably why
bro.
Shaheem's scolding me so hard because she manipulated Chris Chan into like literally having relations with his like demented mom.
Oh,
Like,
it's
that
not
is-
even just that. There's so much to that fucking shit. That shit fried my fucking brain.
I sent a picture of her
She-
to. I sent a
she-
picture.
Mamma mia, bro.
See, Shane,
He's
that's
attractive.
why we disagree with you is because like
I can see why.
you're like a good looking ass woman was
No,
like
I said she's relatively attractive. I didn't. I expected to be like some like really creepy like dirty dude who would manipulate him, but it's just like some female you would
Oh.
never expect.
kind of like really, really good-looking, popular people doing shit like that to each other. But like instead, it was like Chris Chan, this autistic guy that had like a weird fucking fantasy, you know. Yeah, no, that's understandable. But I kind of understand it in the way that
She's
People-
like her
people
values though is what I'm saying. Her values. She's like literally like a femcel. She's like literally like an incel white dude, but she's actually like
Yeah.
a Hispanic, attractive looking girl. And not like, I'm not saying like, oh she's so hot. Oh my god, I'm simping right now. But I'm just saying like, you can't lie. She is attractive. She's not ugly or nothing. She's
She
just
is.
fucked up in the head.
Yeah. Where are those good old fashioned values?
Facts. Now we only see
Some
sex and
fuck
violence on
shit
TV.
overpowers it for me, bro.
I
That's
know
what
that.
I'm
I'm not saying like, yo, you're making it sound like I'm like, oh man, like I would so date her. I'm just saying, you can point out stuff and still criticize people. Like, she's a piece of shit,
I mean,
but she's not ugly.
Yeah.
That's why. What I'm saying is, like, it's surprising that she's not ugly. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing more to it.
Yeah, no, because it is
Yeah.
usually the case that like people. I mean, and I'm not saying this in like a bad way. Like, oh, you know, ugly people are always out to get somebody. It's like, no, it's. But it is usually a case of people that aren't good looking, people that aren't relatively popular, and like, you know.
But even like a bunch of
Absolutely.
attractive girls, they do a lot of fucked up shit. But not
Well,
to
yeah,
not to Andrew Tate or
obviously,
something. But
but-
I'm just saying, like they usually do it in a different way. This was just like,
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
even with
this
incels and
is
stuff.
kind of crazy.
Like, I'm not trying to defend incels, but incels are legit like just the most fucked up in the head people. But they're usually just normal looking people. Like, I don't get how these people get so fucked up in the head. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right? If they just like, they could live a
Crazy,
normal
though.
life if they just didn't do so much weird fucking shit. But it's
Yeah.
It's a lot, like, a
case.
a lot of different things for that. It's like
Well,
the worst case scenario for
Look,
like a
my
like
point,
that
right?
mentality.
My point is, if you looked up the person who manipulated Chris Chan and you saw this picture that's in the general, you'd be like, huh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get your point now.
I
kind
get the not expecting
I
it.
didn't understand it in the beginning, but no, I get what you're
God,
saying.
you
now.
think I'm simping over this? What do you think I am, like a fucking TikTok girl simping
No,
over
I
like
didn't
sipping
think
over
you're-
fucking
I didn't think
literal
you're-
No, I'm
murders?
not saying that you were simping over. I was just saying.
No, I know
look
you're
pretty.
not saying that. I'm just exaggerating.
I was just like, yeah,
Dude,
Dude, what the
I-
fuck?
knee-jerk reaction, just seeing her be like, "Wow, she did that? What the fuck?"
Yeah, I'm
You
not
know,
gonna lie.
like,
That's the
Like,
chick that exposed Chris
talking a
Chan.
little bit.
okay, but
You know,
look,
she
look.
got big booba.
She got big old
Yo,
boobie. I said goo
Yo,
goo gaga.
thunder quote that.
Big
Just
sex-
quote that.
big
You know,
sex
The
chick-
most fucked up part about it is, you know, girls with big boba like that now, like people would call them mommy, but Chris Chan was looking at his mommy like that.
That's so terrible, bro.
That's so terrible.
I might have to edit that out. I might not.
Yo, you really might have to edit that out.
That
What
was-
the fuck?
That was
Motherfucker
funny.
just got out of-
That
Look,
was no.
I think that
It
we
was
should.
still funny.
I think that we should get as much fucked up shit out before we get a sponsor.
he just broke out of prison and you're already making jokes about him fucking raping his fucking demented mother that
That
can't
nigga
do
said,
shit
he's
about
like,
it.
he said, do it your mom, do it your mom. You know, that nigga, like D&Z was like, oh, she got big booba, and like Christian's like, you know who else has big booba?
What the fuck?
Chris Chan was really
Nah,
like,
but like,
Damn, bro, you really talking about
like, yo,
Barb's bro?
I got a question.
Chris Chan was really like death by snoo snoo.
Hey, yo,
Bruh,
What?
was the comic mid?
Was
Was the comic mid?
No, unironically, it had like, it was just like a hentai. Like, it literally, he would like draw like
Oh my
his,
god.
he would draw his female friends and like his characters having sex. Like, he was really fucking weird.
Yeah,
No, like
Yeah,
literally,
like,
it started out
yeah.
as like
Well,
fan
and-
fiction,
it-
and then it
in-
just became
in
him
most
shitting on people in his
situations-
personal life. Like, it
in
literally
most
just-
situations with people like that, it's kind of
Well, someone's got to
normal
use,
in an
the
aspect
Sonic-
because they can't
Wait,
really
what?
filter what they're doing.
You said it's normal. I mean, I guess it's normal to him.
Yeah, well, no.
Or-
I'm saying with people that have autism and stuff like that, they normally like develop a attraction to something, right? And like I've met many people that have some sort of hyperfixation with like, you know, like trains or something that they experienced in their childhood, right?
Whenever their mom was raising them, they were just like, damn.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when she
right,
does
right.
that,
And that's-
when mom let me play with them toys, I was just like, damn. Like,
I'm saying in Chris Chan's like scenario, I understand that he developed like a character in his head that he liked and stuff like that. And as people with like mental issues get older, obviously they still experience normal human feelings and emotions, right? But in a different way. But like, I feel like since he was autistic and got manipulated, it was, oh, dude, that's. Oof.
Sounds like such a
Low
horrible
key,
story.
bro.
Like, I'm
Not
only
only
knowing
that,
about
but
this
like
now.
especially since he got into media of all things, right? Media is the biggest thing, like encouragement of stuff like that, right? Like you see comments all the time of people like, you know, saying to do some dumb shit, right? So I feel like, and as he's autistic and you know feeling all these different fucking things, he's gonna make that into content because that was the thing that he was really like hyper asphyxiated on.
Yeah, that's
I
why
don't know,
a
man.
lot of autistic people are like they're super talented too. That's why you see like
Right.
the
Like,
weirdest porn you've ever seen drawn by like the best artist ever. Like they have the shading and
Right.
like they, I don't know. I have a theory that it's just like super talented autistic people who get hyper fixated into the weirdest shit.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's like there's the ones that take it in a like good path, like people that are like one of my cousins, dude. He's autistic and can do math calculations to a fucking T. He is so extremely fucking good at math, and it blows my mind. He is taking, I think it's like some calculus class, but like it's insane because I'm good at math, right? Like in my job, I do a lot of math, but this kid just blows my fucking mind with how good he is at
Yeah,
math.
and Chris Chan put his fucking Chris Chan put his hyper focus onto breaking out of prison. I don't know why that took me so long to say, but you know what? Whatever.
Nah, you good, my man.
Real quick, I do want to say for those listening that, like, disclaimer, we're not generalizing all autistic people to be the same.
No, obviously not. There's
I'm
everybody.
gonna be honest, bro.
Everybody is different in their own way. I'm just saying, in most cases, with people that I've seen in my lifetime that have autism or Down syndrome or a mental deficiency of like that, right? I even have an issue like that with ADHD, right? It's you. I've tended to get hyper asphyxiated on things that I probably shouldn't, right? Like instead of doing my homework, I'd fucking play video games for hours and hours and forget I even have homework, right?
Right.
Or, I know in most cases that's how teenagers are, but like I would find entertainment in things that I liked rather than really anything else.
I'm gonna
Right?
be honest, bro. The only disability I have is disability to get that bread, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Disability.
Bro, that is every American right now living paycheck to paycheck.
The biggest disability I got is disability to get some bitches, bro.
Facts.
Like,
Chris Chan got the unspoken wrist.
Chris Chan got that unspoken break out of prison.
Yeah, facts. He got that unspoken prison knife shiv.
He was showing the guards Sonic Chew, and then
They fell in
got
love.
so distracted. They got so distracted by Amy Chew's fucking gaping vagina that he escaped out of prison.
Amy Chew, is that
Yeah,
like a fusion high of fucking
It's actually
Pikachu and
Rose,
Amy?
bro.
yeah, Rose Chew.
Rose
That's how you
Chew,
know that I
fucking
got too
Sonic
fucking into
Chew.
this lore way too fucking early, bro. Like literally, the internet.
Yeah,
fucking-
I don't even know if that's an actual thing. I didn't really read into like, you know.
No, it is.
Christian-
It is
Oh,
a thing.
okay. Well,
And
I
let me put into perspective. He draws all this shit with like crayons, bruh. Like it's like literal like hardcore porn scenes with crayons.
I knew about that.
I
just
know.
never
I'm
really-
telling the. I
Yo.
assume that you didn't know. I'm telling the audience right now. Like he legit
Dude,
drew
that's-
porn in crayons.
See, I just
Dude, that is
Crayon.
on so many
I-
levels of
Crayola.
fucked up.
I never really got into like the whole like, you know, the lore of what he like drew about and shit like that. Like I knew that he was drawing like really fucked up shit, right? And I heard about it, but I never really like really deep dived into that shit because I was like, I don't want to read about fucking Sonic Chew fucking
I just
the
watch
shit
the
out of
documentaries, bro.
Amy
I'm not like reading up
Yeah,
all the lore. Like, hey guys, you caught up on Chainsaw Man? Yeah, I'll catch up on it once I finish like this Chris Chan shit. Like,
Oh, dude, you guys, you guys
I'm
catch up on
trying
the
to finish Sonic 2 right quick.
you
Jesus.
guys catch up on the latest episode of fucking Sonic Chew's Adventures. Like, no.
Oh, dude, I heard that comes. Do you guys see that
Sonic.
studio? Do you guys see that studio Mappa is actually gonna animate that? That's crazy. I hope they get Shintani's designs. Like,
Oh, dude, I really hope Amy Chu's ass dummy thick.
Sonic 2 Adventure 2 battle.
I can't wait until they. I can't wait for all the fan service in there. I love Rose Chew so much.
Bro, I can't wait till
Sonic-
fucking Love Quest comes through.
Sonic
bro. I really
2
need that.
Adventure DS.
You guys are shipping.
We're all definitely going to hell. like straight
Not
up.
me, player. Not me,
If
player.
you guys are simping for Rose Chew, you got your freaking values all wrong.
Oh, hey, I guess Fluff joined the call for this episode.
Oh, let's get it.
God.
I'm just
Are
joking.
we throwing?
Well, he was
shade?
here right. Nah. we stopped talking.
Okay.
No, I mean, if I
I
mean,
was about to say something fuck.
he could come back on the podcast to defend himself if he really has a problem with it. To be honest.
What's okay? We've talked a lot about this.
I mean, like, if we're gonna be throwing shade,
Same thing as everybody we talk about on here.
We
As
talked
soon
a
as
lot about-
as soon as Jack gets off, we're gonna be like, man, fuck Jack.
Yeah.
what the fuck?
We like friendly fires on.
Nah, but
Rejoin
we've
us
talked
in episode 18. To
Oh
defend
my
yourself.
god, guys, I think I actually might get canceled for a thought I just had. Yes, that's true. Another thought from me about to get me canceled. But hey, maybe I might edit it out. And where can you guys find what I actually thought? You guys can find it on the Uncreative Podcast Patreon. Yes, we have a Patreon like every other podcast now. So if you guys want to support, donate, get some, inside info, leaks, all that stuff, upcoming episodes, who will be the guests and stuff like that. All of that jazz, thumbnail art before it goes up, all that stuff, and if you donate high enough, you might be able to come on. Or if you're just a cool person. But either way, we have a Patreon, so I'm gonna edit this segment out of what thought I had. If you want to find it out, go find out on our Patreon immediately, or no, bye. Not joking. See ya. Back to the podcast episode.
I'm just like,
What's the
How do you do
weirdest?
that?
What's the weirdest food you guys would eat? Like,
Uh,
what's the weirdest
I've-
food you guys ever ate? Actually, that's a good one.
I've eaten a live worm before on a dare.
Like a earthworm?
Like a big fat fucking worm.
Ew.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Mealworm
Yeah,
moment.
on a dare. I was really drunk at a party, and somebody said that they'd give me $20 if I ate this big fat fucking worm that they found on the
Niggas
sidewalk.
just had worms on it.
Yeah, and I was,
Did
I
it
was
did it
sitting
have like
there-
that protein in it?
And well, I was sitting there and I was like, I'm drunk as
Yeah, that
shit.
earthy
I'm
taste.
probably not gonna remember this, but $20 is $20, so
then,
I'll eat the fucking worm.
Spoiler alert, you remembered it. You
Yeah,
remembered it
and
so
then-
well
and
that
then-
you put out the podcast.
Yeah, and then and spoiler alert, I turns out I wasn't that drunk, and I remember the whole entire night, and yeah, I like woke up the next day, and I was sitting there, I was like,
I already
my
know
mouth tastes
the.
like
Oh, sorry.
vodka and fucking asshole for some reason, and yeah,
There
I
you
think
go.
it was the worm. I think it was the worm. The worm
That's a
definitely.
booty hole worm, bro. Those things are rare. But I already know what D&Z's like nastiest food he ever
Your
eats.
brain.
The nastiest food.
It's rewind time.
The nastiest food D&Z eats is the fucking Ben. That shit is disgusting as fuck.
What?
Now, don't get me wrong.
The what?
Don't get me wrong.
The what?
You know the Ben, the fucking the fucking bagel, fucking
Oh!
egg and nuggets thing.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty ass
Ugh.
nigga.
Allow me
Dude, what
to
the
describe-
fuck?
Allow me to
Nah.
describe.
Hold on.
Allow me to
Easy.
describe
Give me
the
a rundown.
contents of my sandwich.
No.
Here we go.
No.
The Ben starts off with a simple bagel. You feel me? Alright.
I
Don't
don't
feel
know.
you. Don't feel you.
Eggs.
I don't feel you.
Eggs. With the yolk, sauce, limey,
This nigga said
You feel me?
sauce.
And then-
You said
so
yolk
far-
sauce. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, so far the Ben,
I didn't say
the
sauce.
Ben is
Dog.
giving me
I did
like
not say sauce, bro.
Dog,
the
that
Ben,
is.
the Ben is
ugh.
giving me like bagel witch vibes, right? Which is just like a bagel sandwich in the morning, right? Okay.
No, it's not a bagel
Bagels,
sandwich.
eggs,
It's fucking
and-
nasty.
Alright. We'll
That's
keep
so
going.
Bagels, eggs, and nuggets, my nigga.
Ugh.
How many nuggets,
Well,
bro?
you know what? At least it's
Bro.
better. At least it's better than
Four.
the fucking bagel,
Four
eggs, and
nuggets.
Sully's nachos. That shit is nasty as fuck.
Nigga, fuck you. Fuck
You know I had to bring it up.
you. Bro,
Did you
look,
say-
bro.
did you
All it is
nuggets?
crushed up tortilla chips and some fucking taco cheese
shit.
or whatever. Right? And then you microwave that bitch for a minute 30, bro.
Dude,
It definitely was whatever.
you look like you took an hour and 30 minutes in the fucking bathroom making that shit. That shit looks
Bro,
like fucking
That's
rancid.
that's a real struggle meal, bro. Like I'm
Oh
being
my God.
dead ass, bro.
That shit.
Struggle meals be hidden sometimes.
Shaheem,
Sometimes you only have
thank you.
motherfucking chips and fucking cheese, bro.
Dude, thank you.
The reason I use
COVID-19.
nuggets is because I didn't have any chicken patties. So
That's how I know
It-
sometimes,
Okay,
bro.
well, yeah,
No,
but
I
cause
probably
no, but
be, like, struggling,
nuggets
bro.
nuggets are seasoned differently than patties. Do you put any like sauce on it, like ketchup or like? I bet your nasty ass puts barbecue sauce on it. You nasty ass bastard.
Bro, barbecue sauce on nuggets
Nigga,
is the
shut up.
best.
No,
What are you
it's
talking
good.
about?
It's good. It's good. It's
You
good.
got
Look,
defensive proof.
no,
of
don't
point.
get me wrong. Don't get me
that was
wrong.
eggs.
Don't get me wrong.
was
It's
eggs,
not
though.
bad. Yeah, exactly. Eggs,
Barbecue
eggs
sauce
and a
and
bagel
eggs.
with barbecue sauce. That's disgusting.
No, hold on, listen
Yeah,
to me.
nah, nigga.
I
That
would-
shit's nasty, but like,
I would understand you if it was like, you know, like a actual like bagel witch, right? Which is a bagel, egg, right? Bacon, you know, it's like a sandwich but a bagel, right? It's like bacon, egg, bagel, right? And maybe sometimes if you're feeling a little bit fucking healthy, you'll throw some fucking like greens on there, right? Like that to me is acceptable, right? Because that's a meal right there, right? You know, it's got the fucking carbs, it's got the protein with the eggs and the bacon, you know, and then if you're feeling healthy, you throw the greens on there, right? But the
Okay.
nuggets, bro, that I don't know, dude.
Not
That like
the
especially
others.
since
if I had,
especially since, you know, when I think
Patty, I
of like
would've used
nuggets,
that.
bro, nuggets are fried, and I just don't really.
And there's
fried
like a
food
different
anymore.
there's like a different seasoning for nuggets too.
Nuggets
No,
are
my
fried,
thing
bro.
is,
Right,
Like,
and
like,
especially,
bruh.
especially like when I think about nuggets with eggs, bro, that just makes me uncomfortable, bro. Like I
Yeah,
don't
this
know.
nigga, he said he couldn't pick which part of the chicken he had to eat, so he had to eat both. Like he ate the
I
fucking
was
egg.
gonna say.
He said which one came
Yeah.
first, the chicken or the egg? It doesn't matter. It's in my fucking bagel.
Bro,
Yeah,
how many nuggets
yeah,
do you
yeah,
put on that
which-
bitch?
He said
bro?
that he puts four. He puts four.
Four? So he has a
Four.
formulated
Four,
thing.
yeah.
Dog.
He called it.
Wait.
What did? Wait. Sage and Kami, Shaheem, whatever. What did I say at the beginning of this? I said that nigga calls it the Ben. He's formulated it so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
He gave it a patented nasty ass name. I mean, Ben's a good name, but you know what I mean.
Sorry. You got
Nasty.
too deep with the sandwich, bro. I'm not gonna.
I got.
Oh, why does it gotta have my name though? As that?
The only thing I got is I got sunshine on a cloudy.
That's no.
So I
That's
made
not.
my
That's
bed.
not.
I'm
That's
just
not.
excited.
That's not sunshine on the.
Actually,
That
no,
sounds like-
I can't even talk
This
shit,
nigga
bro.
made the fucking nasty patty, and he's talking about sunshine. Nasty ass.
Bro, I can't
That's,
even talk
bro,
shit
that's
about
like that's like
food.
some that's like some chum bucket level shit. Like,
Bro.
Like, that is, dude. I'm sorry. D&Z, I'm
Why you
sorry, bro.
disrespecting my-
But that's a flat out, like, that's a nigga moment, bro.
Can't even get
Bro,
mad,
Not
bro.
all the way.
Like-
Not all the way.
So
Like,
what's the
an
nastiest
Yes,
thing? Wait, what's
an
the nastiest
actual-
thing that Thunder and Shaheem had? And then I'll go last. I don't really remember
Bro.
what I ate that's nasty. Well, actually, I'm gonna be honest, bro. In grade school, I used to be that nasty ass kid who used to like mix all my lunch food together and then like eat it.
Oh,
What
dude,
the fuck?
nah,
No,
nah,
but it wasn't.
nah,
Look. To be fair, it was not because of enjoyment. It was because they dared me to.
Survival.
They dared me to.
yeah, no.
This
I
nigga
was gonna say with my elementary school and like middle school lunch food, bro. Like, I'm not gonna blame you with that because all that shit was nasty as fuck. Like, whenever I get like a fucking nachos or some shit, like I was always loading that bitch up with whatever the fuck because it was just so gross, bro, that some things would just make it tolerable, bro.
You had
Like,
to match
Charlie
that
make 'em-
shit, bro.
I'd be sitting there.
What about you, Shaheem and Thunder? What's your nasty?
Bro,
Thunder like
I mean-
pineapple pizza or something. That's the last time I heard.
You're capping. No, no, no,
I can't even lie, bro.
Here we-
I've had so many
Here
things with
we
like
go.
food. I guess one weird thing is like when I was young. Actually, no, I just did this like at least recently. I'll eat fucking Chef Boyardee straight out the fucking can, bro.
Like
Not
you won't even
warm that shit
microwave
up.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
bro. I've done that
That's not
before.
that
I can't.
bad.
Yeah, I
That's not
can't.
that bad.
I can't even hate. I've done that before.
I've done that too.
like eating that shit. Oh, thank God, that's not the weirdest thing.
No, because
But, like-
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, like the ravioli tastes better cold. I don't know if that's a weird taste.
Yeah,
but
like the
sometimes it tastes better
ravioli.
cold.
Yeah,
Oh, the
Yeah.
ravioli, bruh. Let's
I
go.
love ravioli much, bro.
I
Okay,
love you so
good.
much.
I'm not.
That's not
I'm
weird.
Not the
That-
one
that's-
good. I thought that was weird because I'd be saying that shit, and the motherfucking white kids at school be like, "What? You do that?"
They
I
don't
was like,
understand, bruh. But Thunder
They don't
eats pineapple
understand.
pizza. Thunder should understand.
Oh.
He eats that nasty ass pineapple pizza, bruh.
Bruh, gaslighting me for real.
I lied. I eat pineapple pizza, and it's not that bad. But what's
I'm disgusted. It's okay.
wait? So
I'm
is the
disgusted.
nastiest thing that you would say is pineapple pizza for you, or is you have anything else like more nasty?
I don't know, bro. Pineapple on pizza, I can just never. I can't to this day comprehend how anyone can eat that and go, "Oh, that's good."
It's not okay. I'm not gonna say it's good, but it's not bad.
Oh,
Like,
no, I know what the
if I was
nasty
at a
thing
bro,
is, bro.
try it.
I
I
was at a
wasn't-
party, bro, and like there
I
was
wasn't
pizza,
feeling
and
it.
the only thing was pineapple pizza, bro. I'm eating that shit, and
Yeah,
I
it's not
don't
bad.
give a fuck, bro,
Yeah.
because I honestly I like it. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
Exactly. Jack is based.
Oh. Yeah, bro.
It's
Like
weird.
I get it.
bro,
I just can't.
people that don't like pineapple on their pizza, bro, are the same people that like are like going on dates and are like, ah, hi, how are you?
What?
I love how that correlates. He called you fucking Deku from My Hero, bruh. Now you gotta cope. That's
Oh
tough.
my!
Cope,
That was,
cope with it.
that was the worst insult ever.
Live with it.
Grow up and eat pineapple on your pizza, bro.
He
Like,
called you a
Okay.
Nancy boy.
Nah,
Oh,
you know.
Hey, you know what?
I don't know.
You know what's good as hell to
Bro.
me? You know what's good as hell to me? Pickle juice.
What?
Like pickle
Look,
juice.
I was just about to say
Second
that
that.
shit.
Were you
I-
actually?
Bro,
I-
I'll eat a whole
Pickle
jar
juice
of
is
pickles,
valid.
no homo,
Pickle
bro.
juice is valid.
Pickle
I
juice
used
is
to-
good as fuck.
Pickle
Really
juice
good.
be hitting different, bro.
Have you ever marinated chicken in pickle juice, bro? It's very good.
I haven't
Like,
done that, but I
like-
might give it a try. Like, wait,
No,
but
no, no,
which
Yo!
which type of chicken? Like grilled, like rotisserie, fried?
Dude,
Fried
no,
chicken,
like
please.
fried chicken. Like you
Fried
marinate,
chicken?
you marinate your drumsticks, right, and your wings in pickle juice, right, and the brine.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't even like if it's like a drum and stuff. I don't even like putting that much
Listen,
stuff
just-
besides
just
like
listen.
I don't know.
Just
I don't
listen.
like. I don't like it. I don't like the wet consistency.
No.
That's gross.
No, it's not even. Well, it's a fried wing and a fried drum,
But
bro.
the
So
wet
it's not even.
consistency of a fried wing, that's nasty.
It's not gonna be
It's
wet,
marinated
bro.
before
No. You're just.
Oh, okay.
marinating-
I see.
You're
That's what it's
marinating
saying.
it. Yeah, you're marinating
I've never done
it
that
in
before.
the
I
pickle
might give it a
juice.
try. That sounds.
It's very good. I'm
I'm
telling
probably
you.
gonna give it a try too.
Because what happens, right, is when you put it right in the like marinade, right, with the dill juice from pickles and shit, it soaks into the fucking skin and all of that, and then when you fry it up, dude, it's just
I'm
like
gonna be
very
honest.
savory.
That's why my favorite like type of pizza is plain pizza, because I don't like the way like the meat like seeps into like the flavor. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Plain pizza is good as hell, bruh. Plain pizza is the best pizza. Don't at me. I don't give a fuck about this extra cheese with all
What?
the shit. Oh, also, do you guys
Nice
eat crust of
pizza.
your pizza? Do you guys eat the crust?
It depends.
Yeah,
Like if it's got like a good, like, you know what I'm talking about when it's like a good crust, bro. When the crust like got some of that sauce
That,
on it.
when it's that Chrissy, bruh, that Chrissy.
Sauce on it, that kind of like,
Crispy!
kind of like
Crispy!
that sauce on it that kind of like bubbled up, and then the cheese, like a little excess cheese that kind of got like a little bit burnt and crispy, and you're just like
Bro,
Yo, you
man,
know what? You
this
know
is
what's good as
taking me
hell?
from my fucking-
You know what's good as hell, bruh? Like
Yeah.
pretzel bread.
What?
Like pretzel bread. Oh, that shit's so fucking
Dude,
good.
have you ever been to like an Aunt
Oh,
Annie's
yeah.
fucking
Yeah, I
like
agree.
little chain restaurant in like a mall or something? And you
Oh,
get the
yes.
pretzel bites, the pretzel bites with the fucking
Yes.
cheese,
Bro,
bro.
pretzel
Oh
bites
my
are so
god, bro, that shit.
Dude,
That shit's
dude,
smacked on a
those are
I
different-
put pretzel bread.
Amazing.
I put pretzel bread on like a meatball sub, bruh. Oh
Dude,
my
that's
fucking god.
That's valid.
Damn.
That's
So
valid. I do
gas,
that.
bruh.
got
That with like
that.
with
I got-
jalapenos on it
I
and like
got
cheese.
that.
Oh
When I
man.
think
Jalapenos.
Yes, sir.
when I think yeah, no, that's valid.
When I think of pretzel bread, bro, I think of like a good like jalapeno bacon cheese dip, bro. When like it's just like hot,
I like.
right? And then you get the good warm, like hot, soft pretzel, bro, and you're just like dipping it in. Like,
Oh my
fucking-
god, bruh. We need to stop talking about this before I get hungry.
Damn,
And
y'all
I have to-
niggas got money.
goddamn.
As somebody
Like,
that loves cooking is one of my favorite things to do.
What?
Right.
Okay, really.
I do it in the spectrum all the time. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
So where's your boyfriend applications? I need someone to cook for me in a maid outfit in my like in my kitchen.
Dude. Me and Jack used to cook together a lot, bro.
I would
Like,
never
actually,
cook with
I
you.
have-
I would never cook with you, Sully. I'm gonna be
If
honest.
you-
After those nachos,
Seriously?
after those
Damn.
nachos, bruh. After those nachos, you might set off a
Thank
fucking
you.
chemical
They
reaction.
are a struggle.
Do you want to see something? Do you guys want to see something me and Sully cook together?
Did you try his
it
wing?
might change your guys' mind because
Sure. I was just fucking with Sully. Yeah, of course, I'd love to cook with Sully. Sully sounds. I could tell Sully actually, unironically, sounds like he would be an amazing chef. Like unironically.
Check the Slobby chat. The thing I posted is what me and Sully were whipping when I was at his house.
Hey, that's
Oh
true.
yeah, the stir fry.
Whatever he said,
bro.
DZ. Whatever he said was whipping. Whenever he said was whipping, like the
wing
first
recipe.
thing. DZ. Whenever he said was whipping, the first thing I thought was roaches in the kitchen. We got roaches in the kitchen. Go ahead and move your head.
I'm in the kitchen and I whipped
Roaches
it.
in the kitchen.
Roaches
Seasoning
on the
the-
dishes.
Hey,
Is that is that shrimp in there?
Yeah.
I see. Is that shrimp?
Are you telling me shrimp
Sir.
fried that rice?
Damn.
I was thinking of saying that shit, but I didn't want to be like,
you guys
fuck,
wanna
they ain't
see-
no
What the
racist
fuck?
shit.
If you guys
Yeah,
want to see some of my home cooking, I'll post some of it in chat.
Well, don't do it too much. This is still an audio only podcast right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I just
Damn, you really fucked up SpongeBob's house like that. I realized it was good, man.
SpongeBob's house was delectable.
Wait,
bussin'.
Damn, bro.
That's hella shit made, bro.
That actually looks good as
Yeah.
hell. This my
A
man
nigga
making.
hasn't been eating that good lately.
You making
so,
hibachi,
like,
my boy.
that shit-
Nah, that looks delicious for real.
Dude, for Jack.
Jack, me and you, we gonna start dating just for that, bro.
Homemade ramen.
Homemade ramen. Jose, yo.
Damn, that gave me a flashback. I fucking put ramen in the microwave when I was like 11 with no water in that bitch.
I was like,
No
at first I was like, that's not even that bad. What's up? Like,
No, but I didn't realize it. Then I was
that
like,
shit came out crispy as fuck.
no, literally a minute went by. I started smelling that shit. I was like, what the fuck? And I opened that shit up. It was black as shit. I was like,
Oh, Solo,
damn.
what you talking about in that
Wait,
sloppy
for-
chat? I might have to eat you up.
bro, I was mad as shit. I was like, damn. I
Nigga
was looking
ball.
forward to that ramen too, cuz. Damn.
Nigga balls.
All in your
Rest in
jaw.
peace, that ramen.
R.I.P. to my
Christ.
ramen, nigga. Damn, bro. Made a nigga a little sad for real.
Alright, I think it's time for me to crack another brewski so we can get into a fresh topic.
Alright. So. How was y'all day?
It was pretty gang banging, chain swinging.
No,
How about
Now, real quick, we're on that discussion about food.
It was alright.
Like, bro, okay, I don't know if this is weird. You guys can tell me if this is weird or not.
Dude, that's so fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that shit was really weird.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know
let me
how,
fucking finish
like-
first. Oh my god.
you know how people have like ice cream and it has like the peanut butter flavor or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So struggle's real sometimes. So what we used to do was we would take actual peanut butter like out the jar or whatever, put it in a cup, put some milk in there, and ice cream, and you would just get like a homemade
peanut butter milkshake.
That's not that bad.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
I was gonna say,
that's kind of like
That's
a
being
peanut butter
resourceful,
milkshake
man.
without-
That is
That
being
sounds
resourceful.
pretty cool.
That's like a deconstructed peanut butter milkshake, bro. Like,
DZ,
No,
shut your nasty ass up. I don't hear you saying any combination is cool, because all the combinations you make me want to fucking die.
Nah, DMZ, I'm mad. Like, you made
What?
an acronym out of my name.
Whoa.
Nasty.
yeah,
Nasty.
you made
So saying
made
that a
the
food
bend,
combination
bro.
is
I
cool
do not want to hear
makes
about.
me say,
Damn, I really
Ow.
damn that
I
slow. I didn't
Nah,
even know it was
Nah,
an acronym.
DNZ, there ain't no DNZ, there ain't no getting
But
out of it, bro. Bagels, eggs, and nuggets.
Hunter said, bro, I
Like,
would die.
dude, I would have been okay with like.
Oh,
Oh
bagels
yeah,
and
I
eggs,
forgot
bro.
that. Like DNZ, like not only the shrimp that you guys made, but also like the peanut butter like thing, that concoction that Thunder made. I don't know why I called it that. That sounds mad disrespectful. the homemade peanut butter ice cream Thunder made. That shit would kill DNZ. Both of those are like his fucking kryptonite.
Oh, yeah, that's
Right,
right. That's, yeah, don't have.
Actual food
I
is
would
kryptonite.
die.
His kryptonite is actual nutritious
Oh,
meals,
damn.
bro. He can only
Fuck,
eat the
bro,
bed.
you have never experienced the fucking Reese's peanut butter cup. That's crazy.
He can only eat like mad concoctions like the Ben, bro.
DNZ, just do the same thing, but just
Oh my
like substitute it with like Nutella or something. But actually, speaking of Thunder,
Okay.
speaking of my boy.
No. I can't have Nutella either.
Oh,
What?
what the fuck?
What?
Really? What's in
What?
Nutella that you can't have?
Hazelnuts?
Hazelnuts, probably.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, speaking of Thunder,
Yeah.
you got a
Yeah.
new channel, Thundercut. What's going on with that?
So we doing that here. Okay. So check me out, right? So Thundercut is basically like the premise. It started out basically so there's a lot of animation breakdown channels and analysis where they like talk about animation, the core fundamentals of stuff. They go through different episodes and different TV shows and stuff like that. So that idea is kind of similar, but what's going to be different about Thundercut is it's going to be directly tied to stop motion animation compared to, other forms, which is something I don't really see. So it's going to be like I'm going to go through different animations. It could be like movies like Nightmare Before Christmas, or it could be a YouTube animation.
Ooh,
Just along
okay.
with stop motion. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do interviews with different animators and stuff just to make sure all the information I have is accurate and stuff.
Nice.
We're going to do retrospective videos on stop motion related stuff. It's going to be like just, I guess, a breakdown analysis channel.
Can you
I know that motherfucking King Kong video's gonna go crazy.
I feel like
Factual.
Sure.
I was gonna say, Thunder, do you mind like giving us like a sneak peek of what video you're going to be working on soon, or like anything? Like, what's the projects? What are we gonna expect for that channel as of now? Like, what are the projects you have cooking up?
Yeah, so I got a couple. So the first thing I kind of want to do is just kind of like an overview for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. It's going to come out in like October on Netflix or sometime around there. Then I'm going to go ahead and do Piccolo stop motions.
Piccolo? Who you
Black.
What do you mean Piccolo? Who's Piccolo?
Piccolo's another stop motion animator.
No, his name isn't Piccolo. His name is Namekian Motion.
No, on YouTube.
What? Wait, he changed?
Yeah, go to
Actually, on
YouTube.
YouTube,
And you
it still is Piccolo.
yes,
No
it's
fucking
gonna be
way, boy.
yeah. So Piccolo's Goku Black First Year video is like one of the best videos I've ever seen, animation wise, for stop motion. So I'm gonna be breaking that down a lot. I'm actually gonna interview him just to make sure everything I got is the best it can be.
So
And most
can you tell us like some things that why do you pick that one in particular?
Bro, because that video just does everything right. Like the fundamentals of just animation in general. Like he has a perfect, I don't want to say perfect, but he has a near perfect grasp of animation, like an understanding of that. So I just want to go completely into a deep dive and break it down because it's just
He's going balls deep.
From
so
what
good.
from what we
it's
talked
so
about, there's also
good.
like references and stuff in there, right? Like,
Yeah, like there's so it's subtle too. Like there's a lot of symbolic things, like different color palettes in that video that's symbolic of each character, and there's references to the shows, different camera angles. Like there's so much to unpack in that 10-minute video, which you wouldn't really think, because like a lot of stop motions, they're short. They're short as far as their time spans go, but this just has so much to offer in that short amount of time. So I definitely want to break it down and get in, just pause, but balls deep inside that video. Just really
pause.
what the heck is going on.
Major
Well,
pause, bro.
I feel like, well, one thing that I was thinking is with the name Thundercut, right? It kind of like, to me, when I hear that, it sounds like the name of like a channel that would have like, raw, like uncut footage and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be like behind the scenes stuff too. Like
that's what I was thinking, and not only that, but I feel like with that sort of content, you could also like, I've seen a lot of content creators that do raw, uncut footage.
Uncunt.
Uncunt, bro. Yeah, and I combined two words there. But anyways, I've seen them do footage of them like making different mistakes and stuff like that, and I feel like in your community of stop motion animation, right?
Mhm.
I particularly don't participate in that, but for me personally, I would like to see the sort of mistakes and things that you might do that aren't exactly a part of the norm, or things that happen in what you do that I guess kind of inhibits you, right? Like,
yeah.
Me, somebody who doesn't do stop motion, I don't know what might happen with you that kind of makes stop motion hard and not, like, I guess I want to see the not enjoyable parts of it.
Right.
Stop motion's a very cool thing, right? I appreciate the craft a lot. I've always been very interested in art, and I've seen a lot of stop motion stuff, whether it be clay animation that stop motion animations, and or action figures. I've seen a lot of recently, especially on TikTok. I see a lot of people blowing up doing stuff like that, or tons of different stop motion stuff. And to me, I see a lot of it, and I know how stop motion works. It's it's a huge series of hundreds to thousands upon thousands of pictures that collage into a sort of video aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see what makes that complicated. I want to see things that might make that difficult.
Do you
right?
do you think that your channel could offer a solution to that? Like, do you think that
There's definitely gonna be stuff like that. There's gonna be tons of tips, like I said before too. So there's gonna be interviews with different animators and stuff. So we're gonna actually get to hear and understand what their struggles are, because every animator has something different that another animator doesn't have. Like, there's always a quality that or something that they struggle with that's different from someone else. So we're gonna be hearing all kinds of stuff of all that, including me. Like, you're gonna definitely hear stuff with my own videos. Like, just recently, I had a video that I couldn't do because of some certain circumstances. But you're definitely gonna hear stuff like that in Thundercut as well. So,
hey, well, if you want, we could do.
Will be made.
If you want, we could do a little exhibition. Not animation wise, but writing wise. Have you guys seen that new She-Hulk thing?
I have. Oh my god. What is your okay, so I'm very into comics, right, and manga and stuff like that. Right. So I've seen a lot of feats from She-Hulk in comics, right? And I've obviously I appreciate a lot of them. A lot of them are really cool, right? But with the new Disney Plus, series that's coming along, She-Hulk, and what they've done with the new MCU Hulk and She-Hulk, what is your opinion on that?
Okay.
I mean,
you want to go first? You want to go first?
with me and my fucking whole Hulk brain rot, I feel like I'm just gonna go on a lot longer. So I feel like you should go first because I feel like I'm gonna be the odd one out first. So I want you to go first.
Okay, so for me, like, She-Hulk's weird to me because obviously at the point of this episode and this recording, we're not even close to being done with the series yet. Like, it's still very early. We're only on the second episode. So I'm kind of resorting my judgment until it's finished, but from what we have so far, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. And it's not because of some, like, stereotype or anything like that. It's just I can't exactly appreciate a new character when it comes at the detriment of another, which I keep feeling like Marvel keeps trying to tell me to do with
didn't they also do that not just from like the Hulk himself, but they also do that with like Captain America every 5 seconds too? Like, they just keep slamming the old heroes, and to be honest, I think that they just need to stop introducing new heroes and just like focus on them.
Yeah, like, I'm okay with the Captain America one right now, only because with the Falcon Winter Soldier series, we got to actually sit with those characters and understand them and see how this character earned the title of Captain America, although there's still some work there that needs to be done, I think. But other characters like Thor and Thor Love and Thunder and She-Hulk, it's always this thing where whenever they introduce this new character, they always have to insult the past and tell them that, these past heroes, whatever you thought about them, they're actually garbage. They're actually, like, really terrible people. They don't deserve the mantle. I'm better than you.
Yeah, what do you think about I'm sorry to interrupt, but what do you think, because that reminded me, what do you think about the infinitely more angry than you scene?
I think that's such a slap in the face of who Bruce Banner is, like, as a character. And I understand why it's there, but the problem is we don't actually get time to see what she's saying, like the impact of her words. Like, they don't actually mean nothing. We don't really see her struggle at all. She just tells us, and we're supposed to just be like, crazy. But we don't ever see her struggle, so there's no point in believing her story. We've seen Bruce struggle, we've seen Hulk struggle, we've seen him go through what he's gone through. He has way more experience, but now in this show, he has nothing to offer her. There's nothing he can give to her in any way. No knowledge, no nothing. She's a perfect character, and that's it's whack. It's like there's no stake.
Okay, so just because I actually agree with you in every point that you've made there. because I am a big old MCU fan, right? I love all the old superheroes, Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, right? I think that the new Bruce Banner and Hulk compared to the old, Hulk that we've seen in movies and comics and shit like that, like they've completely diminished what he was. But for the sake of a counter argument, what I wanted to say with She-Hulk, right, is what I think that the cinematic universe is trying to do is they're trying to push a narrative of women empowerment, and because that's not a big thing we've seen in a lot of Marvel movies, and as of recently, they've been doing that a lot. I mean, Captain Marvel, it's a lot, right? The whole fucking WandaVision show, She-Hulk. That is what they're pushing, is that, like not all these dude characters are, extremely fucking cool. Like there's also these female characters that are pretty sick too, because a lot of them, I guess, cinematically and just in general, are really underrated to compared to a lot of characters, cool with that. And especially in the new She-Hulk thing that they have going, right, with that scene that you were talking about. I think that especially was just a big jab, right, like pushing the whole narrative of women go through, and I'm not saying that women don't go through a lot more than men, right, but it's pushing the narrative of women go through way more than men every day, and they're constantly fighting for their lives and this and that, and that whole scenario.
Well, I would be cool with that if they. My whole thing with that, like that whole tobacco, is I'm completely fine with that. My only thing is they don't actually let us appreciate what she's telling us. Like,
right.
Okay, he's struggling.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Actually,
there's one thing I kind of
they don't actually want to write a character. They want to write what it is. It's just it's what the writer's own feelings are instead of writing the character.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I feel like if they were to give,
Shaheem wanted to say something. Go ahead, Shaheem.
Yeah, I want to go on my fucking whole Hulk spiel. Damn, about to Hulk out on y'all niggas. Fuck.
Go ahead.
There's one thing with it, like the whole pilot episode and shit. The first episode they released, they kind of released it out of order. That shit wasn't even supposed to be the first episode. So like,
yeah, it would have been way better if it was later.
You can tell it wasn't really the first episode a little bit too, the way it was set up and shit. And for me, with my like whole Hulk rattle mind, how much I've been in the fence with this shit and everything, like since the character of Bruce Banner hasn't really been utilized well throughout these movies in a lot of ways, it's like I wasn't even really mad at what Jennifer said, because this version of Bruce, we don't have that same real development that he has in the comic books, and you don't really see his struggles in this universe that often. You do, he had a movie that really isn't brought up in canon that often, but since the character isn't really utilized that well throughout his frequent appearances, much more than frequent, it's like you can't really gauge his Bruce Banner at all. There's no like through line.
I can agree with you with that, because it feels like, like the Incredible Hulk thing where he's fighting that, that's a separate, obviously, continuity and stuff. But that one, you felt his struggles, but in the MCU, you kind of barely felt.
No, the Incredible Hulk was part of the MCU.
It was?
Yeah, it's to make it worse.
Second movie.
Yeah, this will make it worse.
They decided to make it canon. But
there,
a lot of people complained.
Yeah,
it's been
really.
Yeah,
Okay, so disregard everything I just said, because that's bullshit then.
So basically, I don't know what they're doing. I think because this is something that we've seen in comics a lot, right? With Bruce Banner, now he is the like form of Hulk where it is like, Smart Hulk, right?
Whereas in the past, it was just Bruce Banner and Hulk, right? Where they're two separate personalities, and now they've integrated them into being one because they made a canon that used to be the past Hulk, right? And then, years and years later, after him being Hulk for this long, he's finally connected the personalities together and they came to a compromise, right? But also, I just wanted to come because I just checked Disney Plus. The second episode of She-Hulk has dropped.
Yeah.
Been dropped. They come out on Thursday. Shit, Abomination's in the series. He's in that.
Not surprised. They're probably what I think they're gonna do is what we've seen so far is they'll do a few series, like a few Marvel MCU series, like they did with WandaVision and all of those Disney Plus series things that they have going, right? I feel like that they're gonna drop a few series and then they have the expected movies that are gonna come out. What I'm thinking is, since they've done this to Hulk, I feel like they're going to have a movie about him that will bring some sort of redemption, right? And this might be a stretch, but that is just my personal opinion, and that is something I would really like to see as a Hulk, like an actual Hulk MCU movie where they really redeem him and see who Hulk is, because what we've seen recently is he's a bitch, bro. In the last few movies, it was Hulk didn't want to come back out because he was fucking scared, like a little pussy ass bitch, one of the strongest motherfuckers in the Avengers, and he was being a pussy, right? And then it just completely diminished the whole thing about Hulk, right? The whole thing about him was he was this big, unstoppable fucking tank, right? And
here's my thing.
And then behind him, there's a scientist, right? That was struggling with the issues, and then as of recently, he's kind of just been, especially with She-Hulk, he's kind of been thrown in the shadows, right?
He's been thrown in the shadows for a while, for my opinion.
That's what I'm saying is, there's the movies, especially since the old Hulk movies are canon, right? Those were kind of like his glory days, and then as of recently with MCU and all of that, they've kind of made the Hulk soft, bro, which is the exact opposite of what the Hulk is. And I get it because there's the whole smart Hulk thing that they have going on, which is really cool to see. Right, because that was something that I thought would only be in comics, but they've brought it into the MCU universe, right? So it is a real canon thing in the MCU. But, I feel like a lot of people, me included, really want to see the comeback of, the big raging monster Hulk.
My only thing, right, when it comes to the Hulk is I don't have a problem with Professor Hulk. I don't. I have a problem with what it took to get him there. We don't see any. There's no problem. They kind of skip his arc because I guess they don't have the right.
Yeah,
so they get.
That did happen kind of randomly, didn't it? It was just like they showed him and he was just like, oh yeah, by the way, in the fucking middle of nowhere, I just decided, hey Hulk, we're gonna be pals now, and now you're fucking smart, and we're this big hulking monster, and I give people tacos.
See, and I think that's what makes. I don't know if it makes She-Hulk worse for that, because it's not even the show's fault. It's not even the writer's fault. They don't have control over Hulk as a character, so it's like they're not even allowed to really do anything with him. Like, it would have been way better if we actually got to see Banner debate with his different personalities and have that conflict that was kind of there in Infinity War, but way more until they come to that compromise and stuff to become that Professor Hulk.
Right.
That would have been dope. And it
Like,
would have been
see-
all the more reason to basically show why Hulk is such a complex written character.
Right,
But, you know,
kind of like the whole thing, like showing who the Hulk is and who Bruce Banner is, right? Because I guess in the whole, thing about the Hulk so far, it's been, the Hulk is a monster and Bruce Banner is, a really intelligent scientist dude, right? And then, they, as of recently, combine those two things into Smart Hulk, right, as he's known in comics, which is dope, right? But I do agree. I really would have liked to see some sort of, series, like, even if it was, because I haven't been really big on the Marvel series. I'm gonna be honest, like, I like them, right? They're interesting to watch. I like the Loki series. Moon Knight was pretty good, right? I was okay with them, right? So I would have watched a series about the Hulk, right, and him figuring out how to, I guess, be Bruce Banner and the Hulk, right? Kind of working out their differences, because that was the whole thing about him is, he had this whole other side to him that he couldn't control, and then all of a sudden he just knows how to control it. Like, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the character.
Me personally, like, because I have like weird all focus on him. It's like it goes so much deeper for me because I feel like this version of the character is just it's not gonna go where I would want it to go. Because with Bruce Banner, it's not really for fights for me. It's more of just like the inner like his mind's the interesting part and how he affects the people around him. And like the first episode of She-Hulk finally got something a little bit interesting for me. Like seeing how his family is all kind of worried about him and how being the Hulk has actually affected his relationship with his entire family. I was like, finally, something, a little crumb of that shit. Finally, I'm getting something like that. But it's like, now it's like, damn, is it too late to really get what I was actually interested in? And it's like, damn, this character that has so much realism for like me personally, like a character that has went through trauma and also has caused a lot of pain for the people around him inadvertently through his actions or just through things like that. You don't feel that in these movies at all. From the meat, like you don't really feel it. It's like he's just a side. He's just been used, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't really connect to this version of Bruce the way I would do other versions that they're afraid to go to like where it's gone. Like this is the first time this version of Bruce's family has been brought up. Are they not bringing up the fact that his
Well,
mom
speaking of angry people who have families, because I'm moving off from this topic, because Jesus Christ, this is long. What about Dragon Ball Superhero? Oh, you wanted to? I was going to talk about Dragon Ball Superhero. But go ahead, yeah.
Well, it's not gonna be long-winded, but I think that like I'm just like fascinated, just sit here and hear like all you guys talk about, and like what I guess his overall story should be meaning, like it's not really. And for me, like I think like one like kind of like huge thing with that is like because you guys already know like a lot about it, but but like if you were to come across like I guess a newer type of fan who like he doesn't really know a lot about these characters, it's like the way that that it is the sounding and the way it seems like his character is being handled. It's not really doing like a service, to people. I guess like who didn't really read the comics and stuff. It's like they'll be like sitting back here and like watching the movies like and watching the She-Hulk and be like, what the hell is this? And like for people like the movies and stuff, like that's like their first I guess like a vision, and like kind of like their version of like a deep dive into the character, and like they're not getting the full I guess the the story, like they're not getting like the full I guess like potential that the Hulk can bring out. I feel like.
Yeah, it
you
just
say this all now until like they start fucking up Sentry, then you're really gonna start feeling it.
Disney's not doing fucking.
Oh my God.
I feel like what they're doing in the MCU is they're kind of weakening the old MCU
They're
characters.
making it unmasculine. I'm sorry, I know that sounds like some type of like red pill shit, but they're literally like taking out all the cool moments for like story beats. And I understand it, but you gotta realize
I'm not.
Marvel's good for their stories and DC's good for their stories, but we need that action.
Both.
Like they're making it more like a
different way than you are.
when I say like demasculine, I don't mean like, oh, they're making them like gay and stuff. I don't mean that. I mean like whenever I talk about like masculinity, I'm talking about like Dragon Ball. That shit makes my blood rush. JoJo, oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Baki, that like
I know.
real shit, bruh.
I feel like what they're doing with the old MCU superheroes, Iron Man, Captain America, the old Avengers especially, right? Ever since Endgame and all of that, they've been weakening those old Avengers. And I feel like what the MCU is going to try and do is they're going to try and basically kill off, not actually, but get rid of the old Avengers, and they're going to try and replace them with the new age. That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
right?
that's what everybody's thinking. That's not really
No. I know. It's just like a lot of people, they're like, I've seen a lot of theories, right, that they're gonna bounce back and this is that. And like, there's, you can't get rid of these characters, and a lot of people that don't really know their backstories, especially the people that have read the comics and stuff like that. But the new people are seeing these characters, right, and they had a little bit of glory, and now they're just kind of weak, right? And it does a really big disservice to all of them. But I feel like the way the MCU kind of has to make things progress to catch up with comics and stuff like that, that this is kind of just the way that they're taking it. Right.
I mean, shit.
Like the Avengers had a few good fucking huge fights, and they saved the whole world a few times, right? But now it's time for these new superheroes to shine, like Captain Marvel and She-Hulk and fucking Moon Knight, and I feel like that's the direction that they're taking it in.
They could have made like better heroes, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I gotta agree with that.
There's a lot of heroes that have a lot more, like, especially since I'm pretty sure aren't they planning on linking the X-Men to the MCU? I think
already
that's something.
have, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I think. I heard something
and also
about that.
In She-Hulk, there's like a newspaper clipping where it talks about Wolverine getting into a bar fight.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if they're really linking the X-Men, like, I want to see where they'll take that, right? Because that's a very interesting concept, especially since Deadpool's linked to the X-Men, right? But I don't know, I don't know if they'll really even be able to integrate Deadpool into an MCU film.
I hope they don't. I don't like Deadpool that much anymore. Like, thinking about it, he's just kind of like, He's kind of like everything I don't like about Marvel's humor.
Yeah, he's like the
Deadpool. Like at first I used to like him, but Deadpool is literally like whenever you see like an animated show and they're like, "See, we're not a cartoon. Shit, fuck, 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 shit." Like it's like, okay, that's not unique or anything. That's just really boring.
I feel like I don't like the cinematic
I understand that.
adaptation of Deadpool. I like the comic Deadpool. Comic Deadpool's sick, right? But the cinematic Deadpool, like Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, yeah, don't really vibe with that very much, right? Like the films were dope. You know, I'll give them props. They were good movies. I watched them, right? I'd watch a new Deadpool movie. I just don't want them to integrate that Deadpool into the MCU because you can't put Deadpool into the MCU. They're like family friendly movies, right?
They
like
shouldn't make them family friendly anymore.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't, but they kind of have to. Because the whole topic about, you know, the whole topic that they're covering is superheroes, right? And superheroes a very, you know, I guess child blind subject, right? Like that whole thing, right, is meant to be entertainment for children, right? It's kind of, you know, like you grew up, right? You wanted to watch superhero shit.
I understand what it is, but I want it to be something different. Like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films can still be enjoyed by everybody, but it still had enough mature stuff that didn't feel.
Yeah, no, I know, and I feel like I wish the MCU could do something like that. But the thing is, since it's Disney now, right? Disney's always trying to make.
Are you kidding me? Disney? Have you ever seen the fucking Lion King? They be killing people. Sully, what were you saying though?
I was gonna say that's why I was afraid of Disney owning the streaming rights to Bleach, because the last arc is fucking super gory and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't want them to fucking be like, oh, there's blood in this scene. Well, we're just gonna edit that out.
Right.
Like,
you didn't want
to.
You didn't want them to pull a Japan where they make blood white and it just looks like cum.
Well, because it's like, look, look, I understand that your main audience, right? Your main target demographic is, you know, family-friendly content. But if that's the case, then why even make a purchase on a show that is known to not be family-friendly, or a character?
From a business standpoint, I understand it, but like,
Of course, from a business perspective, you know, you're still gonna be making millions of dollars, so who the fuck cares, right? But it's like at the same time, and this doesn't just go for like Bleach or Marvel or Star Wars. This goes for all of the Disney-owned properties.
Yeah, it's really anything.
It's like, I don't want you to take a character that is traditionally, you know, I don't want to say traditionally, but like is known to either be dark or out of pocket, or, you know, has like a fucked up storyline, right? And then water it down because, you know, little Eddie wants to be able to fucking watch superhero movies.
Yeah,
like I'm not trying to be like in this direct, in my opinion, this directly ties into a whole other topic that we can talk about another time. But it's like, if you don't want your kids to see fucked up shit, then restrict their internet access. You know, step up and be
you can't ask people to watch their own kids that they made. You can't do that. It's almost as if you're telling somebody the whole responsibility for what they're doing.
Shane, I thought you were serious. I thought you were serious.
No, I am. I'm totally serious. You can't ask parents to be parents anymore. It's too hard. Oh.
Too hard, bro. No,
blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Well, it's just like look. Those two topics are separate. Right, but they do also kind of.
Nah, we could talk about that. We don't have to make another time for it. We could talk about it right now. I don't care.
Well, it's just like they intersect, and it's like it's kind of a problem that keeps feeding itself. You know what I mean? Like, me personally, if I go see Deadpool 3, I want to see him saying, you know, a bunch of fucked up shit, you know, cussing, swearing, you know, all that shit, because that's what makes Deadpool Deadpool. You know what I mean? Like. It's kind of like if they took out everything that made Batman, you know what I mean, and just like did a complete 180 on his whole character, have him using guns, have him like killing people and shit. Like, that'd be cool for an Elseworld story, but that's not Batman. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's kind of like having Ichigo fight without his sword. Like, Ichigo's whole thing is fighting with a sword. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it's like making the Joker insane.
You kind of just want Disney to stop sugarcoating everything.
Yeah,
that
yes,
done, because really,
yes.
I do understand it, and I understand why Disney does that. It's because of the whole Disney thing. I mean, yeah, I did hear your point earlier. You know, they do be killing people in Disney films, but the whole thing with Disney is, you know, I mean, Disney princesses, you know, all these Disney movies are catered to children, right? And parents don't want their children thinking about gruesome ass shit.
That's cap.
Right? So
That's cap.
Disney,
Parents say that, and then they let their kids go on fucking live leak on the internet, and then want to act like it doesn't happen.
Yeah, dude, literally, when I was 12, right? I was sitting in the fucking Call of Duty lobbies, fucking GTA lobbies, fucking cussing and swearing and shit, and just saying whatever the fuck. Dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's different because that was you were playing video games.
Yeah,
I feel like when I
What's different about it? What's different about it?
Yeah,
So what you're saying? So what you're saying? No. You listen to me. What you're saying is that video games like Mortal Kombat and stuff. Oh, that's different. It's a video game. You're actually interacting with it.
I'm not saying that, but that has to do with this day and age, how people are getting raised now. That's a whole different thing, right? When all of us grew up, we were a lot less sugar coated. We had a lot less shit. Fucking, you know, we weren't spoon fed like kids are nowadays, right? I guarantee you, you go back and watch The Little Fucking Mermaid, right? They're not gonna be talking about fucking, you know, fucking the shit out of people and chimichangas and shooting guns and this and that, right? Because it's The Little Fucking Mermaid, right? What I'm saying is, nowadays, a lot of the shit that Disney's doing is they're sugarcoating a lot more shit because people nowadays can't handle shit. Because parents nowadays don't want their kids to be growing up with all this fucking shit that we grew up with, because they're like, oh, that shit's making these kids fucked up and this and that.
How about you not let your kid watch the fucked up shit in the first place?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
But, yes.
No, guys, we just gotta stop making fucked up shit. We just gotta stop making fucked up shit.
And it's really, really funny because it's like at the end of the day, the viewpoint is hypocritical, right? It's like, okay, so.
I mean, this shit's been going on since we were kids too.
Well, yeah. No, of course.
Like, this isn't like anything new.
No,
it's not anything new.
It's not anything new, but it's definitely.
Yeah,
dude.
Like
it's like
popularized nowadays.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna leave my kid unattended on the internet for 3 hours, and then when I come back and see that they're watching a podcast with 7 homies swearing and fucking cussing and talking about all this extra shit, I'm gonna sit there and get mad. It's like, no, nigga, how about you not leave your fucking kid unattended on the internet? How about you fucking
back then?
Like you helped create that child. You helped create that child, and then you're not there to help guide them, right, and show them, hey, you shouldn't really be going on the internet and shit, and explain to them why, right? You know what I mean? Grow up and be a fucking parent. What it boils down to for me is just flat out laziness. I'm sorry to cut you off, Jack. I wasn't trying to.
No, you're not cutting me off. I just wanted to kind of, I guess, branch off of what you were saying is, when we grew up, our parents were a lot more lenient because of how they grew up, right? I mean, think about it. How many, I guarantee you, about every single one of us that are in this podcast right now got our ass beat growing up, right? Doesn't matter what the fuck it was about, what you did, guarantee you every single one of us got our ass beat growing up. And you want to know fucking why? Because our parents got their ass beat growing up. But there's a select few parents that were like, maybe I'm not going to kick my kid's fucking ass growing up, and their kids became little shits, right? And then those little shits have more little shits, right? And those little shits are just even fucking worse. And they're just spoon-fed little fucking bitches that want to ruin everything, right? And that's what everything nowadays is catering to. It's the little fucking shits, the little pussy ass bitches that are growing up nowadays that can't handle a little bit of swearing or
No,
a gun in
I
the
disagree.
movie.
I
Oh
highly
my
disagree with
goodness.
that one.
Yeah,
That
that's
is a
yeah.
huge miss to me. I feel like once again, think about it. Kids are on Twitter right now. How the fuck are you gonna be on Twitter? That's the most toxic place I've ever seen in my life.
Not.
Like
I guess
they know,
not
like
really,
they know all
That's
this
what
shit.
I guess in my standpoint, it's more cancel culture nowadays and parents.
But I don't even think it's cancel culture. I just think it's parents who are projecting onto something. They want to loom the threat of getting something canceled, so that scares people like Disney to do stuff. But I think Disney, for like a better word to say it, is they could not give a fuck. Their bottom line is making money. That's the only reason why they care. They just don't want to lose any money. So I'm just saying, like, we should make Marvel movies. We should make whatever these movies are. We should make a mature version of that for live action, and the kids can have the cartoons. That's fine.
I think what we've all been talking about kind of speaks to like true to the culture we're in, where it's Shay, you and I have talked about this before, but it's more about convenience nowadays, and there's a huge lack of personal responsibility. It's so bad that, like, earlier we were having a discussion about some personal stuff, and people don't take things, they don't accept responsibility for the actions that they've done, either good or bad, and that leaves room for all kinds of disaster. And, we're kind of just seeing it in all of its forms.
I guess that's true.
I'm sorry to
Yeah.
I'm sorry to get so like randomly passionate when I just kind of sat there just listening for a while. I haven't watched the She-Hulk show, so I didn't really have anything to contribute.
No, that's cool. It's
But
cool.
Yeah, it all kind of just blends together. Like,
I just don't like this, like, oh, I you as a content creator have to watch what you say because my kid, watches your content, and it's like, if you don't want them to be exposed to fucked up shit,
Well, I mean, yeah, but think
Then-
about it. Like,
then monitor their internet.
it's
Not everybody can monitor.
It's always
Yes, they
like,
can. Yes, they
Yes,
can.
they can. Yes, they can.
That is such a non-argument.
Yes, the fuck they can. On my phone, on my Xbox, on my laptop, on my PC,
Yeah,
on
I
Alina's
will have to
tablet, on
agree
her
with that. Not only
PC.
that, but with stuff like
Like-
YouTube and stuff like that, there are specifically made, like Netflix, YouTube, all of these different sites. They specifically have tabs and stuff like that that are made for children.
Also, you could also limit their time. You could say like, okay,
Yeah,
have your
you
phone
can
for 2
limit
hours a
their
day.
time.
And then like you're gonna be like, oh, but they need a phone, bro. I used to have a Tracky, bro. I used to have that Obama phone, that burner, bro, because I wasn't allowed to have a phone for a little bit, and I needed it for emergency, so that was good.
That also has to do with nowadays people are more sugar coated. Kids nowadays have phones at fucking. I didn't have a phone until I was like 13 years old, right? Meanwhile,
Exactly.
I've heard of 5-year-olds that have phones, and Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat already when they're 5
TikTok,
years fucking
yeah,
old. Yeah,
like-
right, and getting exposed to all this different shit.
My youngest cousin, who is 9 years old, right? She has an iPhone. I think it's like an 8 or a 9, maybe a 10. I don't really remember, right? But the fact that she has it's not the fact that she has a phone, right? That's not a problem, right? I can see a parent wanting their kids to be able to have a device to be able to communicate. You know what I mean? But it's a whole other thing to then allow them to, unsupervised to be on apps like TikTok, like Instagram, like Twitter. You know what I mean? That is a whole other thing. And like Shane was saying, there's a way to be able to limit what they see and how much time they spend on that device. And it's just appalling and mind-blowing to see grown adults who are like, oh no, it's not my fault. It's not my responsibility to monitor what
that's
my
your
kid
buddy.
watches.
In many
It's your responsibility as the content creator to watch what you say. What? Nigga,
Not only
grow
that, but
up.
many
Grow up
many
and raise your
parents
kid, dude. What the fuck?
many
What is this, a free
parents will
babysitting
try
service?
Yeah, that's
Many
that's
parents-
your thing. You're right, Sully. People like many parents, like Jack was saying, they take iPads and they give it to their kids, and that's their babysitter. Whenever they don't want to be a parent, they just give it to their kids and make them watch fucking Coco Melon and Spider-Man and Elsa videos for 3 hours until their brain fucking rots. Until their kids literally, and then go on fucking TikTok until they don't have any attention span for anything, and wonder why they're not doing good in school and wonder why they're not doing good in social situations. They're literally self-destructive because they're lazy. It's fucked up.
Well, not only
fucked up.
that, but
And-
many parents that do this type of thing will try and make the argument of, "Whoa, well, when I was growing up, I didn't have this sort of thing, and I still don't really use it that much, so I don't really understand it, right?" But especially the new parents nowadays, right? Like I mean, like the parents that had the internet growing up. Right? The parents that know the shit that's gonna be on there, that know the shit that they grew up sawing, right? They're seeing it, fucking all these websites and different fucking things they grew up with, right? All these parents that definitely know that there's shit like this on the internet, but still continue to let their kids be unsupervised on the internet. Like, that's my issue, because there are parents, like, I know people that have really old parents, right, that don't really do shit like that, right, aren't really on the internet that much, right? Like, one of my parents, or one of my friend's parents, they're fucking like in their 60s, right? They didn't grow up with the internet, right? They fucking have like a Facebook account, that's really about it, right? They're old. They don't really know what the fuck's going on, right? They have their kids do everything on their phone, right? They don't know what the fuck's going on. People like that understand, because they're old as shit, right? But people that are, like my parents, right? My parents didn't grow up with the internet, right? The internet is still, I guess, a newer thing to them because they didn't grow up with it. But they still have enough common sense to know that there's gonna be bad shit on the internet that kids shouldn't see, right? They still grew up, or adapted to having the internet and knew, well, there's fucked up people out there that are gonna do weird shit, and I don't want my kid to see that, right? And since I was raised like that, when I have children, if I have children, right, I'm gonna raise them like that, right? I probably won't let my children have a phone until they're fucking 13 or 14, like I was, right? Because when I had a phone when I was 13, I wasn't even allowed to have fucking social media. I didn't have a Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, none of that bullshit. I had fucking games on my phone. I had games on my phone. You wanna know what the fuck I had? I had Fun Run, motherfucker. I had Subway Surfers and Jetpack Joyride.
Subway Surfer, yeah. Temple Run. Thing.
Like, right. I had that shit, right? I wasn't these kids that are fucking, like, my little cousin that's fucking 10 years old and has a whole ass Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever the fuck profile.
Crazy, yeah.
That's insane to me. I'm like, you're fucking 10 years old worried about how many likes you're getting on Snapchat. I was 10 years old worried about riding my bike to the party store and getting fucking Doritos and a Monster.
Yeah, well, I don't really think that, like, we need to scold the new generation. I think that we need to scold the old generation that aren't doing the best to make the new generation good. A lot of people, a lot of people will say, "Who the fuck raised these kids?" You motherfuckers did, and you did a shit job at it. Actually, you didn't raise them; the internet raised them. So I don't know about I don't know about the following generation when these like Gen Z people grow up, because there's probably gonna be a lot of depression and a lot of self-diagnosing. Are we Gen Z?
Yes.
Yeah, we're mostly Gen Z.
Yes,
Well,
you are
I'm
Gen
saying
Z.
like the new Gen Z. I'm saying
So
like
Generation Alpha, I think it's called. I think.
Yeah, Generation Alpha is
yeah,
the
Generation
generation
Omega
behind
beams
us.
like Dark Side.
I don't really keep up with
Omega
No,
beams.
It's so fucking foul.
I agree that we should blame the older generation for not raising their kids properly, but I'm saying like the newer generation of parents especially are to blame for not raising kids properly.
I will say too that I blame both, to be honest. But
Well, yeah,
but
like I'm
I
saying,
will say once any kid becomes over the age of 18, like I understand some people have like trauma and stuff and were abused, but at a certain point you can't blame your parents for that. You got to start becoming a better person, mature yourself, or else
Take
you're just a piece
personal
of shit.
responsibility.
Yeah, it goes the
Literally.
same way. Like I'm not just blaming parents and
Yep.
like, well, that's why you're a piece of shit. No, you're a piece of shit because you stayed a piece of shit. You could have been really good if you would have tried, but you don't want to put any effort, and your parents didn't want to put any effort, and you're instead of improving like every generation should be an improvement of the last, you just want to stay stagnant and be a piece of shit too.
Yeah, like I said, like I was saying before, it all ties in. It's just this culture nowadays is all about convenience and quick, easy tips to get out of situations instead of taking personal responsibility for their actions and working to improve. It's like, come on, man. We're watching what happens when people don't take responsibility. Like, wars happen because those in power don't take responsibility for the things they've done. They just go, oh, the other person did it. The other group did it. Oh, they're bad. Like, okay, what did you do wrong? I didn't do anything. Okay, buddy. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Man.
I don't know. For me, I guess I was kind of raised by the internet, so like I don't really know. It's like I was kind of that first prototype of whatever y'all are talking about, dude.
Yeah.
And like, that's just probably hit me a little bit differently because I've definitely seen shit that I probably definitely shouldn't have seen. So it's like, okay, it's like weird. It's a weird like dichotomy. So like the way we're talking about now, the kids now, people were talking about us the same way about like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because, once again, I'm an adult now and I can prove them wrong. And also, I'm happy that I wasn't raised by the internet, to be honest. Like, I don't think I was. I just enjoyed stuff on the internet. Like, I wasn't raised by it. It didn't, like, really motivate who I was. But it did help me find you guys. So, to be honest, I don't really care what it sounds like. I'm happy how I am now.
We
nowadays
grew up
the same way.
Yeah,
We
but I got kind of lucky. We all got kind of lucky that we actually are who we say we are. Because a lot of these people get like, it'd be like, to be honest, it kind of happened with us a little bit, but not really to the farther extent. But it'd be like a 14-year-old with like a 28-year-old on a call or something. Like, wait a minute, that's weird.
Yeah.
That shit was happening to people our age too.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up that it happened. So we gotta acknowledge that too.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just specifically the next generation going through that. Shit's been happening for a while too.
Yeah, but it just gets worse. It doesn't just because it happened before doesn't mean it can't get worse. That's the only thing I'm criticizing.
That was the point that
because
I'm trying to
think
make
about it, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We were raised differently, right? Because if you really think about it, our parents, right, didn't grow up with all these new things that all of these kids and their parents are growing up with, right? It's especially since our parents were born in generations that went through a lot of shit, right? I had 70s parents, so they got lucky, right? They were born growing up in a generation that was kind of better than most. Not fucking really. It was still pretty shitty, right? But my mom grew up poor as shit, so she has, extremely, extremely, extremely strict morals, right? She taught us to be humble for almost everything we got, right? As long as it wasn't some bullshit and we weren't being treated like shit for it, right? My dad grew up with, an extremely hard working ethic because that's how his father was, because that's how his family had to survive, right? My dad's father had to work every single day of his life to support his family, right? So my dad was raised with those morals, right? And my mom was raised with the morals to stay humble to your roots, right? And the difference between all of us and these next generations behind us is they aren't raised with those same morals because some of these kids that are raised differently than us, right, that are raised with the internet and all these different things and don't really have those same morals as us, they're projecting that on their kids, and then it's like a snowball effect, right? It gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And now you can't always blame the parents and you can't always blame the kids, right? But I'm just saying, in general, if you really do think about it, if you have bad parents, right, and you are raised by those bad parents, generally speaking, you are most likely not going to be a very good parent because you don't know what a good parent's like,
I
right?
disagree.
That's
That's
no.
that's
Well,
kind of a reach.
it depends.
It's got to come down to personal responsibility. It's got to come
Yeah,
down
like
to
like I said, whenever you
self-respect.
become an adult, then
A lot of these people nowadays don't have much personal
how
responsibility.
would you know that?
You notice it. Trust me. Growing up in the area that I grow up in, right? You notice it. A lot of people
Yeah,
I
don't
know, but
have
you
the
don't you
I
don't
same.
know
mean,
how
it could.
people. Well, forget it. I would say you don't know how people act whenever they're adults. So you can follow me after this, but
Yeah,
you don't know how people
we're
are whenever they
barely
become
even
an
fucking
adult.
adults if we're
But a
being
lot of
honest,
people don't
man.
really take responsibility. It's kind of like a recurring theme. So I guess that might be true, but for some people, you really don't know. But Sully, you could continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say in the town that I grew up in. I mean, there there's a lot of people could not take responsibility for a lot of the shit that
Really
they did.
anything. They
Yeah,
can't take responsibility for their family. They can't take responsibility for a job. They can't take responsibility for really about anything. Paying bills, getting addicted to drugs. Can't get off them, right? And you can't really blame these people because a lot of these people are in hard situations, right? But some of these people are definitely in situations you can get out of, right? You are in completely avoidable scenarios, but you choose to do the bad thing, right? Just like how I was, right? In the past, I used to do drugs, right? I used to take pills and drink heavily all the time, right? And it was a reoccurring habit, and I'd do it over and over and over again, and I didn't feel good about it. I never felt good about it when I was doing it, but when I was on the drugs, I felt good, and I kept chasing that feeling. And a lot of these people nowadays, they won't take accountability and do the boring shit and all the hard work, right? Because they're so focused on how they feel and what makes them feel good, right? When they realize that maybe if you did a little bit of the hard work and put put a little bit of your fucking ego aside and humbled yourself a bit and brought yourself a little bit back to reality, you'd realize that maybe if you did a little bit of hard work for once in your life, you'd actually be able to appreciate having some downtime, having a little bit of free time, staying with your kids and being able to raise them, and not
Sometimes
just
hard
throwing
work
an
takes you
iPad in
away
their
from your
hand.
kids. So,
Well,
like,
yeah, and I understand that, but you
so
chose to be a parent.
some
You
people
chose
don't
to be a
always
parent, and there
choose
is
to be
no
a parent in
excuse.
situations like that. Man.
Mm,
That-
Yeah, it's like it's weird too because like we're talking about all this, but we're not Like
Like,
the
if I
situations are
have
they're
if I
super
have a
complex,
kid,
but like
right?
it's not black and white either. So
It,
Well, that's the thing though. Is
it
if
goes
I
I
person
if
to
guess
I
person.
choose to have a kid, right
Yeah.
now, since I have that kid, every single thing I should do should be about that kid. You want to know why? Because you brought that life on this earth, and you are responsible for it. End
I
of
agree with
discussion.
I
agree.
agree with
There's
that
No,
stance.
I agree. I
there's
agree.
no
I
in and out,
agree.
back and forth. There's nothing else to that. There is no gray area. You brought that life into this world. You must take care of it, right? Now, if it's a situation like you got raped, right, or something like that, or something terrible happened, right, and you got pregnant and you give birth to a kid that's not actually yours, there's plenty of options.
This is
Foster
really deep.
care, adoption.
This
No,
is really deep.
this is something that really pisses me off, right? Because I've seen this countless times in my family, right? And growing up with people I know, and it hurts. It hurts to see these people that are born into this world to shitty ass families that don't give a fuck about them. It pains me to see these people that grow up with parents that don't love them.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like that
It
argument.
hurts.
I mean, not the argument, the saying where it's like every kid deserves to have parents, but not every parent deserves to have kids.
Right.
Yes.
Because some people are shitty people, right? Some people get pregnant and have these kids just to get a little bit of money off the government, right? And then spend it on drugs or bad habits, right? And then they neglect their kids, and their kids think, well, what did I do wrong? I was just born into this world, right? I'm supposed to love you guys unconditionally, and you guys treat me like this. How am I supposed to feel? And then that's how you breed people that do terrible things. And not always does it turn out to be a terrible person, right? But a lot of the people that get neglected growing up and are constantly abused and hurt and come from really bad home situations, right? A lot of them don't turn out good mentally, and they end up hurting themselves and people around them. And they don't mean to, but that's how shit happen.
Yeah, it's like
Right?
how like the people who get bullied end up becoming bullies. Like
Shit, at that point, I feel like everybody just needs to have like mandatory therapy, and therapists should be fucking cheaper. I don't get why that's so expensive.
yeah, for real.
I mean,
It's kind of like
as
having like I've
who
noticed a
wanted,
lot like a trend in like America at least, where anything that people need is so fucking expensive. Like
as
I
somebody
guess even
who wanted to,
Sully could like say that with like, you know, his thing. Remember Sully, you're talking about how so expensive for your medicine and stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And well, at least in the United States, with insurance, right? A box of insulin um, could cost could depending on the insurance that you have could cost between like $50 or $100, and that's with insurance, right? So if you were to take what I just said, and then let's say somebody has like a minimum wage job, depending on where you live, right? Like that could be upwards to 1/3 or even a half of their paycheck, which I think is absolutely bullshit. I don't think I'm not sitting here and gonna say shit should be free. No, but I do think it should be more affordable for the average person. And I feel like that monetizing stuff that people need to live is one of the most evil and corrupt things that a country that is based on freedom and liberty for all people could do. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but the government's twisted like that. Like, uh, you know, we're taught that America's founded on some kind of dream, but the only time the dream is really made is when you as an individual take it upon yourself to live out your own dream.
Exactly.
Because then the rest of the world is just constant, you know, country and all is gonna constantly try and put you down, you know.
And
It's weird.
that is the final episode of the Uncreative podcast because they're gonna shut us down after saying that, criticizing the government. Let's go. Censorship
Yeah.
at its finest.
Biden, I know you're watching. You probably don't remember what I just said, but you know, it's what it is.
Nah, but
Nah,
Yeah.
Biden's walking
man,
on the grass somewhere, definitely not on the path.
He just fell down a staircase hearing what I said.
He got
flat out,
distracted by a butterfly hearing what you said.
flat out, like an hour and 45 minutes. Am I right, Shane?
Hour 55. You're very close.
Damn, bro. Damn.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, how it
It's been a
sounded,
good
it sounds like I'm
podcast.
gonna edit a bunch of stuff out of what I was saying.
I mean, you can you can edit out whatever you feel like needs to be edited out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like you're like, come on, bro. Come on.
Like,
might-
for example, this whole discussion right here.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the government's gonna edit it out. They're gonna be like, nope, too real.
You said government? Oh, whole podcast taken down.
Yeah, immediately. We're gonna
Especially,
get drone strike.
especially
I
my
don't know.
portion.
It's
My portion got way too real, bro.
dude. No, I got heated there for a second because when it comes to situations like families and parents taking accountability for their children, there is definitely a big lack of that, especially in the U.S. And you see that a lot, right? That you see that a lot with parents not taking accountability for their actions, for what their kids have done, right? And you can't always blame a parents for what their kids do because kids are people too. They have their own emotions, they have their own feelings, they have their own thoughts, right? But you definitely can blame the parents for not raising their kid right and not, I guess, doing
Trying.
enough. Right. Doing enough. Like, just, it doesn't take much. Just be there. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen situations where people have been hurt and, they hurt themselves, they do irrational things and get themselves and people around them and their families and their friends, all people they know hurt, right? I don't like seeing situations like that just because there was a lack of care for that person in their own family situation. I don't like seeing that just because somebody did not have an outlet in their own home to be able to say something, to be able to voice their opinion, their thoughts, their emotions, how they're feeling, right? I don't like being able to see that. I don't like being able to hear that somebody can't go home and go to their parent or sibling, aunt, uncle, loved one of any sort and say, hey, I'm not doing too well, or hey, whatever's been bothering me, and I'd like your opinion, or could you talk to me about this? Anything helps, right? And that statement alone, anything helps, means so much more than people understand. Anything helps. And there's nothing you could do. There's absolutely nothing you could do for that person, but anything helps. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you guys understand how unfathomable? Like, it's crazy, right? And I know sometimes it's not that simple, right? But I can tell you countless times that I've been in a situation where I've been upset or something like that, and there hasn't been somebody by my side, right? And the simplest thing could have turned my whole mood around, right?
Yeah. A little goes a long way.
Right, exactly. And a lot of people are forgetting that, right? People have lost the value of being a good Samaritan and helping out somebody in need, especially in their own home.
A lot of people said that like common sense is something that isn't very common.
Common sense
I will
isn't so
say
common.
common decency isn't very common either.
No, It's not at all. It's sad. It's very sad, right? And I feel like that's something that really needs to change. But it takes people to make the change, right? It takes just discussions like this that we're having right now, right? Being posted out into the internet and people yelling and screaming and all these reminders and warnings that you really shouldn't need just to get people to say, hey man, maybe I should do a little more, or maybe I should change what I'm doing. And it's really sad that I have to say that, but it's the truth.
I like how I brought up Dragon Ball Superhero, and we just talked about being responsible for your kids. I mean, Gohan wasn't responsible for his kid. Fucking asshole.
Right?
Yeah, it got to the
Goku
point where
wasn't responsible for his kids, and that's why
He basically did the same thing that Goku did to him.
Guys,
He was just like he was just like Piccolo.
Yeah, literally, right? And like Goku also did that. Goku and Vegeta both did that to him with Goten and Trunks as well.
This proves my point of snowball effect. Goku didn't take care of Gohan, and Gohan doesn't take care of freaking Pan, bro.
Yeah, it really took Piccolo scheming a fake kidnapping to get him to get interested.
No facts. That's what I'm saying, and that it really applies. That applies to real life, bro. Sometimes it takes parents getting a shock to their system to be like, oh shit, maybe I should raise my kids.
Piccolo was like, ah shit, here we go again.
Piccolo's really out here giving parents a wake-up call.
Yeah, that's one of the things I didn't like about that movie, how Gohan was just a bad parent. It's pissing me off.
I mean,
it's funny. It's actually
really funny. It's not even just
like,
Gohan. I guess it's also Videl too.
I mean, to be honest though, it's kind of understandable for Gohan because who do you think he gets it from?
Yeah, but
damn,
you have you could literally like you have speed so fast that it's faster than sound. Like, dude, you can legit ask Goku how to teach you instant transmission and just like pick up your daughter.
Yeah, but Gohan wants to be a scholar.
He's a scholar already.
Like,
that's
Gohan, literally,
Gohan.
He
doesn't make enough yet.
I don't want to have this discussion because it's like, look, dude, look. Okay, this nigga can train. This nigga can fucking learn instant transmission if he wanted to. Like, yes, there's shit that he could do. But at the end of the day,
he didn't.
He didn't because he wants to fulfill his own goals.
Right.
Like,
but he didn't because he wants to do this shit.
The thing, like, I used to think like that too. But like, really, logistically, Gohan wanted to be a scholar when he was like a little kid. He was forced to fight.
He was also forced to be a scholar. Like, it was literally Chi-Chi's literally like a Goku and Chi-Chi are literally like country folk. Chi-Chi doesn't know any better. She thinks the only thing you need to be is a scholar. And a scholar doesn't even... What the fuck is a scholar? Do you guys know what that is? I don't. What, is that a mathematician? No, he's fucking studying bugs.
A scholar is somebody that is...
I can't be mad at it. I'm glad he's like fucking bugs.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's doing something that he enjoys, but like, I'm just saying, it was not natural. He was also forced into something.
I don't know. I feel like in most situations, though, it really does take parents forcing kids into doing something for them to realize that they like it. I mean, would you have ever? Listen. Would you have ever ridden a bike without training wheels if your parents were like, "Hey, man, take off the training wheels"?
Okay, but
bro,
if
I don't know how to ride a bike. I had to teach myself how to ride a bike. But
in that situation, though, Gohan came up with his own, like, you know, freaking thought process, right? I mean, yeah, he was forced to train and he was forced to be a scholar, right? But he chose, in the end, what he thought he wanted to do, right? In the end, when he told Goku that when he told Goku that he would have rather been a scholar, what did he do? He went to be a scholar.
Yeah, right? He chose not to take care of his daughter. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's
literally that nigga Gohan. If Gohan was in Naruto, he'd be Hokage just to abandon his kids, just like Naruto.
Nah, bro. He really. I thought it was so funny when I first heard that plot detail before the movie came out because I said out loud, "He's literally Goku, but reversed."
I'm not gonna lie,
Like,
he does act more like Goku in this movie than I've ever seen him act.
yeah, he's like just like Goku. It's the nerd aspect instead of the Saiyan. But it's still the Saiyan biology still works here because instead of his lust for battle, it's his lust for study, and it forces him to completely negate anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
Dang.
It's just
Poor
so
Gohan.
Maybe
obsessive.
they're just both fucking autistic and that's their hyper focus, like fixations. That Goku's fucking hyper fixations fighting and Gohan's
Goku's
just all
Goku's autistic. That's our theory.
shit. No wonder I like
It
Goku.
wraps
so
back
much.
around, bruh.
No wonder I
Gohan's hyper asphyxiation
Yeah,
is not taking
that's
care of his kids.
Gohan's hyper asphyxiation is to be a disappointment.
You said
Gohan's
hyper asphyxiation. That's like death, isn't it?
My hyper
Is that
Oh
a type
yeah,
of
that's.
die?
I'm stupid. That's whenever you like strangle yourself. Like.
Yeah, that's. This is not when you strangle yourself while you're beating your meat or some shit.
Let's go.
Some star died from that.
Hyper asphyxiation? No, hyper asphyxiation is like when you are like extremely focused on a certain topic.
No, I know hyperfixation, but hyper.
Asphyxiation. Yeah, that was a big unlucky.
He said hyper asphyxiation. I was like, huh. What kind of kinky shit are you in, Shane? What?
I was thinking about that. I
bullshit.
was thinking about that episode of Family Guy. That's all.
Oh, Quagmire did that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, hyper asphyxiation is same thing.
Basically, the
It's
point.
it's kind of like gray and gray, right? It's just different ways to pronounce the same thing.
Yeah, hyper pigmentation.
I mean, I think that's just
What?
like, I think that's just the rapid changing of like
Change pigments.
color. Yeah. Like Michael Jackson.
What the fuck? If DNZ was here, he would be fighting you right now.
He really would, bro. He'd
Honestly-
be like,
He'll moonwalk on you.
Honestly, DNZ could cop these nuts in his mouth.
That's facts. I'm not editing that out. He's gonna hear it.
DNZ cop these whole, fresh, grocery store grade nuts in your mouth.
Them cotton candy grapes flavored.
go,
Facts.
the guac.
I'm talking
guac?
that them freshly salted peanuts.
I was thinking like whenever he said freshly salted, I thought of like that episode where like Rigby was making the Rig juice. He's like sugar crystal. I forgot how he said. He's like sugar crystals or something like that. God damn it.
Do you want me to pull up the clip?
Rig juice.
That's like niggas whenever they're about to shoot somebody. You want me to pull up the clip?
Dude, I just had to fight the urge to reference somebody.
I'm not gonna lie, that was the first thing that came out of my mind too.
Dog,
cause-
me and you thought of the same nigga, bro.
Did you roll your tongue with that? You said "Darr."
Dude, I might
What
slide
happened?
up on your
What
block.
happened?
Intelligence.
Writing all these scripts with I forgot what the fuck he said, bro.
Intelligence.
Took his chain, took his rocks, took his sediments. There's no cap in my speech, no impediments.
Yeah, the impediments part. That's what I was thinking about.
That was funny as fuck, bro. Like, yo, dog, what the fuck?
Oh wow, so Kratos is gonna have his Blades of Chaos in the next game. I know we talked about that before, but I will say I like the Blades of Exile more than the Blades of Chaos. Don't at me. That shit goes hard.
See, the reason why you can't put the Blades of Exile and all of the other weapons in the new game though is like because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of like leaving that in the past. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
I mean, like he went back to the Blades of Chaos, but the Blades of Chaos were like the original. You know what I'm saying? Like if he were to get the Blades of Exile back, right, it would kind of just be, you know, like him going back to Greek mythology in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess that's true. Shit.
I
Well,
mean, no doubt it would be cool to see, right? But I feel like if you were to do something like that, like you definitely have to like bring back some sort of Greek god and be like, haha, bitch, yeah, it's like I'm not dead.
my death was greatly exaggerated.
Right, bring back Poseidon because he got disrespected so much.
Do you guys have any
Poseidon.
more? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Poseidon really did get the most disrespected though. Huh,
Dude,
God?
he did, bro. Like that
I
motherfucker.
think
that motherfucker-
Hermes did, to be honest.
Hermes
Nah,
got
bro.
it bad too. He
Hermes got it
definitely
bad.
got it
Yeah.
bad, but
Hermes
he
got
did
it
not.
bad, bro. But like he did not have a whole ass like Kratos beat the fuck out of Poseidon and then tossed that motherfucker into the water, bro, into his own element, bro. Like that disrespect, bro. That's
You know why I think Hermes
crazy.
is so brutal, bro? He literally grabs him, and we're forced to just beat him. Like it's not like Poseidon, because Poseidon, you know, when we're fighting him, he starts out as a giant, you know, celestial creature that we're like fighting on Gaia. But with Hermes, it's like it's personal, bro. When
Bro,
we kill
did you see how like Hermes was like talking shit to Kratos and he just like looked at his boots like, those are some nice ass shoes. I'm gonna take them. They took him for his motherfucking foams, bro.
Yeah. Bro, they made that super personal.
Ah, they got me for my foams.
Well, before you go, do you want to plug any of your stuff?
Shit, bro. Just, I guess.
I mean,
if you wanna
are we at the end
If you
now?
want to add me on the fucking Cord, bro, fucking Discord tag is ZEBE1677.
Cool. Then you could join a server and go see 13-year-olds fighting and saying the N-word at each other.
Yeah, no legit. You wanna fucking start a fight club? We can start a fight club.
Anything you want to plug, Shaheem?
Plug these nuts in your chin.
Dude, fuck off. Fruity. Anything you want to plug, Thunder?
Yeah, bro. So I just gotta think. I got like going on. So Thundercat123 Studios on Insta and YouTube. Infinity123 on Insta for music related stuff, and Thundercut for, you know, what we just been talking about earlier with the animation analysis stuff. So if anyone's interested, please be
Awesome.
sure to subscribe over there.
I'll plug myself. Pause. Major pause, actually. Super mega pause, actually. You know what?
Okay.
Just for that. Melmech, Hunter, you could plug yourself first. Jesus Christ, man. I fumbled that so fucking hard.
Man, I'll
Shit,
plug
you
all
haven't
that.
been
Melmech
fucked the whole time?
Effects on YouTube? Oh, no.
Oh my god, he just hit 1K subs. Congratulations, Melmech Effects.
Oh my god.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, I love you.
He just put up a 1K sub special, guys. Go check that out. He's pretty
That shit
wicked.
was crispy as a motherfucker. Even on his dead boy.
You can find me at Ace Bandit on YouTube. That's me. Woohoo. And
Okay.
also Uncreative Pod on Twitter. Yay. The reason why I was plugging myself, pause again. Major pause again. Double pause,
Boy,
triple
you
pause.
been plugging yourself the whole time.
All right.
Just
Well,
accept it.
the reason why I didn't ask Solo Train for his stuff is because he's gonna do the outro today. Let's go. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So this has been the 17th episode of the podcast, right?
Yep, 17.
Yes, sir. So my brain just froze. Shane, I'm sorry, dog.
Try again.
Run that back
Just-
turbo.
Let that out, let that out.
Try it again, bro. I can just
Okay.
edit it out. It's not a big deal.
All right. So this has been the 17th episode of the Uncreative podcast. If you like, you know, what you see, you know, go back and watch some of the previous episodes. The beat that you heard in the beginning and the end, like now, was made by my brother, Abalik. Go follow him on Instagram, you know, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify. You know what I mean? Tell him that Shane and the Uncreative crew, you know, sent you over. And check me out on Instagram, solo_train_, and check me out on YouTube as well. And yeah, this has been the Uncreative Podcast, episode 17.
Let's go. Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Chuck 'em and fuck 'em.
Later, bro.
What the fuck?